The Dominion Alliance had never known fear like this before. Their strongest warlords, who had crushed entire planets without a thought, now stared at a new reality. Humans were nothing like any enemy they had faced. On board the Imperial Titan, the Dominion flagship, the warlords gathered in a circle, their faces pale. No longer were they warriors. Now they were supplicants. They had surrendered, yet they could not understand the calm authority that came from the humans waiting in orbit. And orbit they were. Hundreds of Terran ships surrounded Varel Prime, maintaining tight formations. They were powerful, yes, but they were also precise. Not a single civilian life would be lost. Not a single building would be destroyed unnecessarily. Captain Aaron Vale observed the Dominion fleet through the main view screen. He did not shout orders. He did not rage. Humans fought with clarity and discipline. Each move had a purpose, each action a consequence. And now the purpose was not destruction. The purpose was justice. Negotiation. Begins, a secure communication link was established between Sol's Pride and the Imperial Titan. The largest warship in the galaxy now floated quietly. Cut off from its fleet, completely vulnerable, but it was not being attacked. Aaron's voice, calm and measured, filled the Dominion command chamber. You have requested mercy. That is acknowledged, but mercy does not mean freedom without consequence. The Dominion commander, a tall and heavily armored warlord named Korath, scoffed at first. You humans, you think you can command us? You have no right to judge the strongest species in the galaxy. Aaron's eyes did not waver. We do not judge. We respond. You have endangered billions of lives. You have burned worlds. And now the choice is yours. You can follow the terms of humanity, or you will face a force you cannot imagine. A tense silence followed. The Dominion had never been ordered to do anything. They had only given orders. Now they realized humans were not just another species. Humans were different. Humans were a force of their own kind. The human terms Aaron outlined the terms with precision, each word measured and deliberate. All Dominion fleets must stand down immediately. No further attacks on Varel Prime or its colonies. Dominion command authorities will temporarily cede leadership to the Terran Vanguard for 10 standard cycles. All civilian populations harmed by Dominion forces must receive aid and protection. Dominion warlords are forbidden from organizing military operations without Terran oversight. The purpose of these terms, Aaron added calmly, is not punishment, but security. The galaxy deserves balance. Innocent lives deserve protection, and your power will not endanger them again. Korath's fists clenched, but he did not speak. For the first time, he felt powerless. Every instinct screamed to resist, to strike, but he had learned through countless battles that underestimating humans was a mistake one never survived. Commander Lyra, at Aaron's side, whispered, "They are listening. They are really listening." Aaron nodded slightly. Humans had learned long ago that authority came not from fear, but from action and restraint. The Dominion would remember this, and the galaxy would remember humans. Humanity's mercy, the humans did not stop at terms. While the Dominion fleet floated, powerless and still, human support ships deployed. Medical vessels carried supplies to the wounded. Engineers repaired damaged habitats and infrastructure. Civilians, once terrified, now watched with disbelief as humans worked tirelessly, not for glory, not for conquest, but for survival and order. A Dominion envoy approached the nearest human vessel cautiously. Why do you help us? After all we have done? Aaron's reply was simple. Because strength is not measured by destruction. It is measured by what you protect, not what you destroy. The envoy could not speak. Humans were not cruel. They were not arrogant. They were firm, unwavering, and compassionate, a combination the galaxy had rarely seen. Across the sector, word spread quickly. Other species that had once feared the Dominion whispered among themselves. If humans could stop the strongest without destroying them, what could they not do? The quiet lesson. That night, as Varel Prime slowly stabilized, Aaron stood on the observation deck of Sol's Pride. The planet below glowed faintly under a layer of protective shields. Smoke still rose in places, but humans had saved thousands of lives. Lyra joined him quietly. "Captain, do you think they understand?" she asked. Aaron did not smile, though his eyes held a faint glint. "They will learn. Not today, not tomorrow, but they will learn. Humanity does not threaten without reason. Humanity does not destroy without cause, but humanity answers calls for help with strength and precision. That is the lesson of this day. Lyra nodded. Even the strongest will remember. Yes, Aaron said. And the galaxy will take note. They will know that humans are a force to be reckoned with, not because we seek war, but because we ensure justice. A new respect in the Dominion flagship, Korath and his warlords whispered among themselves. The surrender had been humiliating, but it had also been enlightening. Humans were not to be underestimated, not in strength, not in discipline, not in purpose. One of the younger warlords, hesitant but curious, finally spoke. They are not like anyone we have faced. They fight to protect, they plan every move, and yet they smile while doing it. Korath's armor clinked as he turned slowly. Remember this day, he said quietly. The humans are not cruel. They are precise. They are strong. And we are fortunate they offered mercy. The galaxy is changing. Meanwhile, the civilian population of Prime began to rebuild. They offered tentative thanks to the humans who had saved them. Unsure if such courage could exist outside myths, humanity did not boast. They did not seek thanks. Their work was complete, and they would move on, ready for the next call for help. The next call as the Terran fleet prepared to depart. Sensors picked up another anomaly, a faint distress signal, even weaker than the one from Prime. It came from the outer edge of Dominion space, a remote colony under siege. Aaron's expression remained calm. He touched the control panel lightly, reviewing the message. Commander Lyra, he said, set a course, prepare the fleet. Humanity does not wait for permission to answer those in need. Lyra smiled faintly. Humans did not hesitate. They had a reputation for arriving when hope seemed lost, and they would continue to earn it. The fleet shifted into formation. Engines hummed. Stars streaked past as they left Prime behind. Even the Dominion fleets watched in silent awe. Humans had not destroyed them. They had not humiliated them with violence. They had acted with precision, with power, and with mercy, and that was more terrifying than any weapon. The galaxy remembers. Across the sector, broadcasts from human ships spread the story. Species that had once trembled at the Dominion's name now whispered of humanity's arrival. Tales of bravery, precision, and mercy reached every corner of space. Humans smiled, not because they enjoyed the fear, but because they understood their purpose. The galaxy had always been harsh, and it had often been cruel. But humanity brought a new kind of power, strength with morality, protection with discipline, victory without unnecessary suffering. Captain Aaron Vale stood again on the observation deck. Stars stretched infinitely in every direction, silent witnesses to the human presence in the void. He did not celebrate. He did not boast. Humanity had work to do, and the universe was full of calls yet unanswered. He whispered softly to himself. We come when needed. We fight when forced. And when the galaxy's strongest beg for mercy, we only smile. The fleet surged forward into the void, engines glowing like a line of blue fire across the dark canvas of space. The humans were coming, and the galaxy would never forget. The galaxy seemed to hold its breath. The Dominion Alliance, once feared across countless star systems, was now quiet. Their fleets had been stopped. Their warlords had surrendered. Their pride had been humbled, and all because humans had arrived. The Terran Vanguard fleet lingered near the edge of Dominion space, engines glowing a soft, steady blue. Ships of all sizes, cruisers, frigates, support vessels, moved in perfect formation, silent yet powerful. The humans did not rush. They did not celebrate. They waited, as humans always did, until the moment was right. Captain Aaron Vale stood on the bridge of Soul's Pride, hands clasped behind his back. His eyes scanned the distant Dominion flagship, the Imperial Titan, now silent and powerless in orbit. The strongest species in the galaxy had begged for mercy. Humans had only smiled, not in cruelty, not in arrogance, but in confidence, a lesson in patience. "Captain," Commander Lyra said, her voice quiet, "they're waiting for your response. The Dominion envoys are sending repeated requests. They are desperate?" Aaron did not respond immediately. Humans understood patience. They understood timing. Acting too soon could destroy the lesson, and this was a lesson the galaxy needed to remember. "They will wait," he said finally. "Desperation teaches more than anger ever could. Let them understand that mercy comes with strength, and strength comes with wisdom." Lyra nodded. She knew the truth. The galaxy often underestimated humans because they did not look like the strongest. They did not have the largest ships or the most weapons. But humans had something no one else had: determination, ingenuity, and discipline combined with morality. Even the Dominion warlords, used to crushing planets and fleets without hesitation, could sense it. They were powerful, yes, but they were not humans. And humans always found a way. The message from Earth, a soft chime echoed through the bridge. The holographic seal of the United Terran Assembly appeared. Chancellor Amara Lighthall, the leader of humanity, materialized in the middle of the room, her presence calm and commanding. "Captain Vale," she said, voice steady. "The galaxy watches. Your fleet has arrived. The Dominion has surrendered, but the decisions you make now will echo for decades. Humanity must show strength, but also mercy." Aaron inclined his head. "Understood, Chancellor. We act with precision, not with cruelty." The Chancellor nodded. "Good. The Dominion leaders will be required to disarm and surrender command for 10 standard cycles. Civilian aid must be delivered to affected planets. You will ensure their survival while maintaining control. Make it clear that humanity protects but does not tolerate threats." Aaron listened silently. This was exactly what he intended. Humans never acted out of anger. They acted out of purpose. Mercy was not weakness, it was control. Strength without discipline could destroy entire worlds. Humans had learned that lesson long ago. The Dominion's perspective on the Imperial Titan, Korath and his warlords whispered among themselves. Their voices were tense, careful. They had ruled countless worlds, destroyed fleets with ease, and yet now they waited. "What do they want?" one of the younger warlords asked, his voice trembling. Korath's eyes narrowed. "They are not asking. They are deciding. Humans, they are patient. Humans do not strike blindly. They do not negotiate from fear. They do not react to anger. They think, they plan, and they act. That is more dangerous than any weapon." Across the galaxy, smaller species watched as humans carried out their work. They delivered aid, rebuilt infrastructure, and evacuated civilians, all while maintaining a defensive formation around the Dominion fleet. It was a display of power and compassion combined, a balance the galaxy had never seen before. Mercy with strength, Aaron activated the secure communication channel. His voice was calm even, and carried the authority of someone who did not need to shout to be heard. "This is Captain Aaron Vale of the Terran Vanguard. The Dominion Alliance has surrendered. We acknowledge your request for mercy. Humanity will act to ensure stability, not to punish. But understand this: consequences will follow any further acts of aggression." A tense silence filled the Dominion flagship. For the first time, they were not calling commands. They were listening. They were learning. Your fleets will disarm. Your command authorities will temporarily cede power. Civilian populations you have endangered will receive protection and aid. Any deviation from these terms will be met with immediate consequences. We do not seek revenge. We seek balance. You will remember this lesson. Korath's armor clinked as he clenched his fists. Every instinct screamed to resist, but he knew he could not. Humanity was patient, precise, and unshakable. This was not fear. This was strength beyond comprehension. Actions speak louder. While the Dominion leaders pondered the message, human ships moved into action. Boarding teams secured key installations. Engineers repaired damaged energy grids. Medical vessels delivered supplies to civilians and wounded soldiers alike. Every action was coordinated, every movement calculated. There was no chaos. There was no unnecessary destruction. Humans had arrived not to conquer but to stabilize, to protect, to assert a new standard of what it meant to be the strongest. A Dominion envoy approached one of the human medical ships cautiously. Why do you help us?" the envoy asked. Aaron's voice, calm and firm, answered, "Strength is measured by what you protect, not what you destroy. We protect life. That is our power. Even the strongest species in the galaxy could not comprehend it. Humans were not cruel. Humans were not arrogant. Humans were strong, precise, and just. And that was a combination the galaxy had never encountered. A Galaxy Watch's word of humanity's actions spread quickly. Allied species watching from across the stars whispered in awe. If humans could stop the Dominion without destroying them, what could they not accomplish? On Varel Prime, civilians began rebuilding under the guidance of human engineers. Families returned to their homes, some still trembling but all amazed that life had been preserved. Humans did not seek applause. They did not linger. Their mission was clear: save lives, protect the innocent, and ensure balance. Even the Dominion fleet could not escape observation. They had fought countless enemies, yet none had arrived with such precision, discipline, and mercy. They had expected rage. They had expected anger. Instead, they had received calculated strength. And that was far more terrifying. The next challenge, as the Terran Vanguard fleet prepared to depart, sensors detected another weak distress signal at the far edge of Dominion space. Another colony, another world in peril. Arin reviewed the message calmly. "Set a course," he ordered. "Prepare the fleet. Humanity does not wait for permission. We answer those in need." Lyra smiled faintly. "Another call, and we will be ready as always." Humans did not hesitate. They did not question whether the risk was too great. They moved because it was right. They acted because the galaxy needed them. They answered calls others ignored. That was the essence of their strength. A silent warning. The Dominion leaders watched as the Terran fleet departed. Their strongest warlords, once untouchable, had been humbled. They had surrendered. They had witnessed mercy without weakness. They had seen precision without cruelty. Korath whispered to his subordinates, "Remember this day. The humans are not cruel. They are not weak. They are precise and they are patient. That patience, that is what makes them unstoppable." The younger warlord nodded. "We underestimated them. We thought they were small, young, and unimportant. We were wrong. They are different. Indeed, humans were different. They were disciplined, compassionate, and strong. They fought to protect, not to destroy. They answered calls for help, no matter how impossible the task. And they smiled while doing it, not in arrogance, but in quiet confidence." The legacy of Part 3 Captain Aaron Vale stood once more on the observation deck of Sol's Pride. Stars stretched infinitely in every direction, silent witnesses to humanity's presence in the void. He did not boast. He did not celebrate. The galaxy was watching, and humans had work yet to do. The Dominion Alliance had learned humility. Allies had learned respect. Civilians had learned hope. And humanity had shown the galaxy what it meant to be strong, moral, and unshakable. Aaron whispered softly, more to himself than anyone else, "We come when needed. We fight when forced, and when the galaxy's strong." The stars seemed calmer now, yet the galaxy itself was changing. The Dominion Alliance, once unchallenged, had learned humility. Their fleets had surrendered. Their warlords bowed, not in fear, but in recognition of humanity's unique power. Captain Aaron Vale watched from the observation deck of Sol's Pride as the Terran Vanguard fleet moved steadily toward the outer colonies. The first act of humanity had been decisive. Stop the threat, protect the innocent, and demonstrate strength without cruelty. But the work was not finished. Humanity's mission was never just about victory. It was about stability, protection, and showing the galaxy a better way. The task of rebuilding Varel Prime had begun to heal. Smoke still rose from parts of its cities, but humans were already there, assisting engineers and medical teams. Schools were rebuilt. Hospitals reopened. Civilians who had fled returned to their homes, guided by Terran medics and security forces. Aaron moved through the command center, reviewing reports. "Commander Lyra," he said, "how many civilians have we assisted so far?" Lyra tapped her wrist console. "Over 120,000, Captain. Food, water, medical aid, and temporary housing are all provided. The Dominion fleet has surrendered and no further resistance has been reported. Aaron nodded. Humanity did not celebrate numbers. They measured success by lives saved, not enemies defeated. That distinction set them apart from every other species in the galaxy. They are learning, he added quietly, not through fear but through example. Lyra smiled faintly. The galaxy will remember this day. Yes, Aaron said, and they will remember us. Diplomacy. Across the stars while humans rebuilt VeRel-Prime, the Dominion leaders were forced to negotiate. With the Terran Vanguard overseeing operations, the warlords discussed surrender terms, demilitarization, and restitution for planets they had attacked. For the first time in their history, the Dominion had no choice but to listen. Humans did not threaten with empty words. They enforced with precision, patience, and discipline. Korath, still proud but subdued, addressed his younger warlords. Observe their methods. They do not strike out of rage. They act with purpose. They rebuild what they could have destroyed. That is their power. The younger warlord nodded. We underestimated them. We thought their fleets were small, their power weak. But they are different. Indeed, humans were different, not because they were the strongest physically, but because they combined strength, morality, and patience. The galaxy was starting to understand a truth it had ignored for centuries. Humans were unstoppable because they knew when to act and when to hold back. New threat emerges even as the Terran Vanguard fleet restored order. New sensors detected strange signals from the edges of Dominion space. A mysterious energy surge, unlike any known technology, pulsed across the void. Captain, a tactical officer reported, we are detecting anomalies beyond Dominion territory. Energy readings indicate large-scale weapon systems, but they are inactive. For now, Aaron's expression remained calm. Plot their origin. Keep the fleet ready, but do not engage unless necessary. Humanity's strength lies in foresight as much as action. Lyra frowned slightly. Could this be a trap? Perhaps, Aaron said. Or perhaps it is a new opportunity to show the galaxy what humanity is capable of. Either way, we remain ready. Even the Dominion commanders sensed unease. They had thought the humans would leave after restoring VeRel-Prime. They had thought their surrender would return them to control. They had underestimated humanity again. The humanity's approach to governance and aid was not subtle, but it was never violent. Every decision was calculated to maintain balance, protect life, and demonstrate strength. Medical teams worked alongside engineers. Diplomats worked alongside security officers. Scientists monitored environmental damage. Every action sent a clear message. Humans protected the weak, held the powerful accountable, and acted with both courage and wisdom. Aaron reviewed reports of Dominion compliance. Systems deactivated, fleets grounded, planetary defenses offline. The Dominion had no choice but to follow the terms, or face the full might of the Terran Vanguard. And yet, humans did not celebrate their obedience. Humanity's victory was quiet, deliberate, and filled with purpose. The galaxy watched, learning a lesson it had ignored for centuries. True strength was tempered by morality. The galaxy watches, across the sector, smaller species began to communicate with human forces. Messages of thanks, admiration, and cautious hope arrived from worlds that had long lived in fear. A diplomat from the Falari cluster, a species known for their secrecy and cunning, sent a message to Soul's Pride. We have seen your methods. We feared humans, but now we respect you. You do not conquer with cruelty. You act with wisdom. We hope to join your efforts for peace. Aaron nodded at the message. Humans did not need applause, but acknowledgement helped spread their influence. Strength tempered with compassion inspired loyalty and trust across the stars. Lyra looked at him. Captain, the galaxy is starting to see what humans can do. Yes, Aaron replied. And they will remember it forever. Unexpected allies as humanity continued its work. Some Dominion officers began to assist. They guided fleets to safe harbors, helped rebuild infrastructure, and ensured civilians were protected. It was not a gesture of surrender. It was a gesture of understanding. Even the strongest had to acknowledge when someone else was better prepared to enforce order. Aaron observed their efforts without interference. Humans did not need to force cooperation. They inspired it. Every action, every decision, Every act of mercy reinforced a simple truth. Humans were strong, precise, and morally unshakable. The galaxy's strongest species were learning a new way of leadership. Not through fear. Not through violence. Through example, preparing for the unknown. The mysterious signals at the edge of Dominion space continued to pulse. Scientists aboard Sol's Pride could not identify their source, but the readings were significant. They indicated a presence, a technology, and a strategy beyond anything the humans had encountered so far. "Captain," the science officer said, "these readings are unlike anything we've seen. We cannot determine whether it is hostile or dormant, but it is large, it is powerful, and it is aware of us." Aaron's eyes narrowed slightly.
"Then we prepare."
Humanity does not ignore threats. We face them, we understand them, and we act with precision. Alert the fleet. Set defensive positions, but do not provoke. We do not start conflicts. We finish them. Lyra's voice was steady. "Another test for humanity?" "Always," Aaron replied. "The galaxy will never stop challenging us, and we will never stop proving why humans endure where others fail." A moment of reflection. That night, Aaron stood alone on the observation deck. Varel Prime glowed below, peaceful now as human ships patrolled silently. The galaxy was quiet but not calm. The Dominion had been humbled, but the universe had more lessons to offer. Humans had arrived as protectors. They had fought when necessary. They had shown mercy without weakness, and now they prepared for what lay beyond the known frontier. Lyra joined him quietly. "Do you ever worry that the galaxy will push too far?" she asked. Aaron shook his head. "No. Humans do not fear the galaxy. We face it, we endure, and we smile when others doubt us. That is our power." Even as he spoke, sensors detected faint ripples of energy from the distant anomaly. The unknown waited. The galaxy's next challenge was approaching, and humanity would be ready. A message for the galaxy captain Aaron activated the communication network. His voice was calm, deliberate, and resonant across the sector. "This is Captain Aaron Vale of the Terran Vanguard. Humanity arrives when others cannot. We protect the innocent, hold the powerful accountable, and enforce order without unnecessary cruelty. The galaxy will know that humans act with strength, precision, and morality. We do not seek glory, but we do not accept failure. To those who watch, remember humanity answers calls for help. We do not hesitate. We do not falter. And when the galaxy's strongest beg for mercy, we only smile." Across the stars, species listened. Some trembled, some hoped, all respected. Humans had sent a message far stronger than weapons could deliver. They were here to protect, to lead, and to endure. The stars of the Lither sector burned brightly, as if mocking the fear that had swept through the Dominion Alliance. For centuries they had been the strongest. Every species in the sector whispered their name with awe and fear. Their fleets were unmatched. Their warriors were legends. They were the rulers of the void, unstoppable and absolute. And yet a small blue planet on the edge of the Milky Way, Earth, was about to change everything. It started with a signal. A faint SOS, barely noticeable against the vast hum of the galaxy. Most species ignored it, thinking it a mistake, a glitch, or a desperate trick. But humans noticed. Humanity always noticed. On board the Terran Vanguard flagship Sol's Pride, Captain Aaron Vale leaned over the communication console. His fingers brushed lightly over the controls and the message replayed. "We are under attack. Our worlds are burning. We beg for aid. Please respond." Aaron did not flinch. He did not gasp. Humans had lived through hardship. They had built and rebuilt cities, planets, and space stations. They had faced enemies stronger than themselves, and they had survived. "Commander Lyra," he said calmly, "set a course for the source. Maximum speed. Alert the fleet." Commander Lyra nodded. Her eyes were steady. Humans rarely panicked, even when the odds were against them. She tapped her wrist console and called the fleet to readiness. Sol's Pride would not go alone. Outside, the void seemed endless. Stars streaked past as the fleet accelerated. Sensors scanned for threats, but at first there was nothing. Only the quiet, dark vacuum. But Aaron knew that quiet was dangerous. The galaxy rarely remained still when the strongest were involved. The Dominion's fury. Meanwhile, the Dominion Alliance had already noticed the human response. Their warlords were gathered on the bridge of the Imperial Titan. the largest battleship in their fleet. It towered over any human vessel, or so they thought. "This is impossible," one of the generals growled. His voice was harsh, filled with disbelief. "The humans have reached us faster than our calculations allowed." The Dominion had studied humanity. They believed humans were young, weak, unpredictable. They had watched human colonies expand slowly, thinking it a phase. And yet, here they were, responding to a call for help that most would have ignored. Another warlord, taller and more armored than the rest, slammed a fist against the console. "They dare to interfere in our conquest?" he demanded. "Do they not know who we are? The strongest species in the sector? We crush planets, extinguish fleets, and bend stars to our will." A third voice, quieter but colder, said, "Perhaps they are fools, or perhaps they are dangerous." And in that statement lay the truth. Humans were always underestimated. That mistake had cost many civilizations dearly. First contact. The fleet emerged from hyperspace near the planet Varel Prime, a strategic world on the edge of Dominion territory. Smoke rose from its cities, burning orange against the gray clouds of destruction. The Dominion fleet had been ruthless, leaving the planet in flames and terrorizing its people. The human fleet held formation. Sol's Pride led the line, its engines glowing a steady blue. Ships of all sizes followed, battle cruisers, frigates, and support vessels. None were the largest in the galaxy, but all were prepared, all were coordinated, all were human. Aaron activated the communication channel. His voice was calm, steady, and carried authority without arrogance. "This is Captain Aaron Vale of the Terran Vanguard. We have received your call. Cease your attack immediately, or you will face the consequences." The Dominion commanders laughed. Their communication system crackled with the sound of amusement. "Consequences," one of them sneered. "You are human. You are weak. We are the Dominion. Your threats are meaningless." Aaron did not respond with anger. Humans did not need to shout to be heard. He activated the fleet's formation lights, a display of precision and coordination. Ships moved like one organism, weaving through space with deadly efficiency. Even without firing a shot, they were a statement. Humanity was here. Humanity was organized. Humanity would not be ignored. The power of strategy. The Dominion fleet was confident. They outnumbered humans, outgunned humans, and had centuries of experience. They expected a simple battle, one that would end in their favor. But humans fought differently. Instead of charging blindly, Aaron deployed small strike teams. They moved quickly, disabling Dominion communication satellites, cutting off reinforcements, and creating confusion. Dominion warships, massive and powerful, found themselves suddenly isolated. Their formations faltered. Their confidence wavered. "This cannot be," one Dominion admiral muttered. "We are the strongest. No species can do this to us, but humans could." Humans often did. They had built their strength not on size or raw power, but on unity, innovation, and courage. Every ship, every crew member acted with purpose. Every move was calculated. Every risk was measured. By the time the Dominion realized what was happening, several of their key vessels were already disabled. Systems failed. Shields dropped. Engines sputtered. The Dominion had underestimated humanity again. A lesson in mercy. Aaron stood on the bridge of Sol's Pride, observing the battle unfold. He did not smile at destruction. Humans were strong, but they were not cruel. They fought to protect, not to annihilate. A message came from the planet below. Civilians were evacuating. Cities were being defended. The humans had arrived in time, not too late, not too early. Perfectly timed to save lives. "Prepare boarding teams," Aaron ordered. "We will secure key locations and ensure the population's safety. No one dies if we can prevent it." Commander Lyra raised an eyebrow. "And the Dominion?" "They will be given a choice," Aaron said simply. "Surrender or face consequences. We do not seek revenge. We seek resolution." Even in battle, humanity did not forget its principles. Strength without purpose was meaningless. Victory without morality was empty. And humans, unlike many other species, knew that power carried responsibility. The turning point. The Dominion fleet, confident and arrogant, began to falter. Ships turned to retreat. Their commanders tried to regroup. But the human strike teams were relentless. Every move anticipated, every maneuver precise. In a single coordinated action, the human fleet disabled the Dominion flagship, cutting off its command systems. The warlords aboard could no longer communicate with their subordinates. Panic spread through their ranks, and then, for the first time, the Dominion sent a message, not of anger, but of desperation. We surrender. Do not destroy us, please. Mercy? Aaron read the message and did not respond immediately. Humanity was strong, yes, but humans were also patient. They waited. They observed. They made decisions that would shape the future, not just win the moment. Commander Lyra looked at him, eyes wide. They're begging, she whispered. After everything, they're begging. Aaron nodded. Let them. Humanity will decide the terms, not emotion. Strength is not in rage. It is in control. The message across the galaxy humans had arrived not as conquerors, but as saviors. The galaxy watched in silence, amazed. Many species had expected destruction. Many had feared revenge. And yet the humans simply smiled. Not with cruelty, not with pride, but with confidence. The Dominion Alliance, strongest in the galaxy, had underestimated them. They had thought humans would flee. They had thought humans would hesitate. They were wrong, and the galaxy would remember that mistake. The first part of humanity's answer was complete. They had saved the planet, protected the innocent, and demonstrated that even the strongest could be stopped. And yet this was only the beginning. Captain Aaron Vale looked at the stars, calm and resolute. The galaxy's strongest had begged for mercy. Humanity had only smiled, and when they decided to act, the universe would never be the same. The void was alive with possibilities. Stars shimmered in the endless darkness, silent witnesses to humanity's presence. The Terran Vanguard fleet, led by Sol's Pride, had moved beyond Dominion space. They had restored order, saved billions of lives, and humbled the galaxy's strongest. But even as the Dominion warlords adhered to human terms, new signals pulsed at the edges of known space. A mysterious energy, vast and deliberate, seemed to watch the fleet. The unknown was calling. Captain Aaron Vale stood on the observation deck, arms clasped behind his back. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were strong, disciplined, and merciful. But humans were also vigilant. They did not hesitate. They did not falter. They endured. Commander Lyra, Aaron said calmly, prepare the fleet. Keep defensive formations. We may not know what this is yet, but we will be ready. Lyra nodded. Sensors indicate energy levels beyond anything we've cataloged. Could it be a weapon? Perhaps, Aaron said. Or perhaps it is a test. Either way, humanity will answer. The unknown approaches. The fleet advanced cautiously. Long-range scans revealed immense structures in the distance. Massive shapes floating in the void, humming with energy that bent light itself. This is not Dominion technology, the science officer said. It is older, advanced, and unlike anything we've encountered. Aaron remained calm. Humans had faced impossible odds before. Humanity's strength was not in weapons alone, but in creativity, strategy, and resilience. Signal them, Aaron ordered. We come in peace. We observe, we respond, and we protect. Any attack will be met with decisive action. A pulse of energy rippled back, faint, yet deliberate. The unknown presence was aware. It was measuring, testing, evaluating humanity. Even Dominion observers trembled. They had seen countless fleets, countless civilizations, but never had they seen such confidence in the face of the unknown. Humans did not fear. Humans acted. A display of power. Aaron ordered the fleet into a defensive formation, a perfect hexagonal grid that allowed maximum mobility and coverage. Smaller vessels flanked the edges, faster strike teams ready to deploy. Sol's Pride remained at the center, a calm anchor of authority and discipline. "Show them," Aaron said softly. "Show the galaxy what humans are." For hours, the unknown presence watched. It probed the fleet with faint energy bursts. The humans did not panic. They adjusted, adapted, and maintained formation. Every movement was precise, every decision deliberate. The unknown tested them. Humanity answered without a word, without rash action, without fear. Then the first vessels of the anomaly moved closer, strange, angular ships that shimmered with energy, unlike anything in Dominion or human designs. They did not attack. They observed. And humanity smiled quietly, not in cruelty, but in understanding. Communication beyond words. Human scientists and diplomats worked to decode the signals. The language was unfamiliar, almost mathematical in its precision, yet patterns emerged. The presence was intelligent, advanced, and ancient. It had watched the galaxy for centuries, assessing species, evaluating threats, and recording outcomes. Aaron addressed the fleet. "We do not seek conflict. We do not seek conquest. We answer calls for help. If the unknown desires peace, we offer it. If it desires challenge, we are prepared. Humanity has never faltered, and we do not begin now." Lyra added quietly. "They sense strength, and humanity has strength in more ways than one." Indeed, humans were a combination of courage, morality, creativity, and unity. That was their advantage, their power the galaxy had never seen and never forgotten. The first move, a small energy vessel detached from the anomaly and moved toward the fleet. Everyone held their breath. Humans were prepared, but they did not strike first. They let the presence approach, calm and measured. As it drew near, a holographic projection appeared. Light shimmered into a humanoid form, glowing and ethereal. It spoke, not with sound but in waves of thought, directly into the minds of those aboard Sol's Pride. "Humans, you are precise. You act with power and wisdom. You do not destroy without reason. You do not hesitate when action is required. You are unique." Aaron nodded slowly. "Then observe this, and remember it. Humanity protects the weak, holds the strong accountable, and endures when others fail." The projection paused, as if considering. Then it spoke again. "We will watch, closely. The galaxy may yet need you." And just like that, the mysterious presence retreated, leaving the humans unchallenged, but observed. Humanity had passed a silent test, proving once again that their combination of mercy, strength, and discipline was unmatched. The Dominion learns humility. Meanwhile, the Dominion warlords, still under human oversight, could only watch in awe. They had ruled half the galaxy through fear, but humans ruled without it. Humans commanded respect, not through intimidation, but through action and example. Korath whispered to his younger officers, "Observe carefully. Humans do not seek revenge. They do not flaunt power. Yet everything they do, every action, is deliberate, every decision effective. That is true strength." The younger warlord nodded. "We underestimated them at every turn. We assumed mercy meant weakness. We were wrong. Every time we thought we understood humans, they proved us wrong." Indeed, the galaxy had learned a new standard. Humans had arrived as protectors. They had humbled the strongest. They had endured the unknown, and they had shown that strength and morality could coexist in perfect balance. A legacy secured back aboard Sol's Pride, Aaron convened a fleet-wide briefing. Humans did not celebrate their victories. They did not boast. They simply prepared for the future. Today we have protected the innocent. We have humbled the strongest. We have endured the unknown. The galaxy has observed humanity. They now know strength without morality is empty. Power without purpose is dangerous. Humans act with both. That is our legacy," Lyra added. "We also know that challenges will continue. The galaxy is vast. The unknown waits. But humanity is ready. Aaron smiled faintly. We do not wait for threats. We meet them. We endure, and when the galaxy's strongest beg for mercy, we only smile. A galaxy transformed across the sector. Species whispered tales of humanity. Allies were inspired. Enemies were humbled. Civilians felt hope where once there had been fear. The Dominion Alliance, once the apex of power, had learned a truth that would echo for centuries. Humans could not be defeated by arrogance, cruelty, or even overwhelming strength. The mysterious presence at the edge of Dominion space would watch and perhaps challenge in the future. But it had learned one undeniable fact. Humans were patient, deliberate, and morally unshakable. They were a force of the galaxy's future. Even as Sol's Pride and the Terran Vanguard fleet departed for the next call for aid, the galaxy remembered the lessons of the past months. Strength without mercy is hollow. Power is measured by protection, not destruction. Humanity arrives when others cannot. And when the galaxy's strongest beg for mercy, humans only smile. The stars stretched endlessly before them. Humanity moved forward. Quiet, precise, unshakable, ready for whatever the universe might throw next. The galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans endure, humans protect, and humans rise above every challenge. And humanity's legend had only just begun.